They say my home is my castle, but the thicker the walls, the more terrifying it is when the enemy turns out to be inside. Veronica was a normal woman, the life of the party. She lived in an old apartment complex on the outskirts of the city. But one day, 5 years ago, she vanished. She just packed her bags and left without saying goodbye. The neighbors gossiped for a bit, then forgot her. I bumped into her by accident 6 months ago. I was hiking deep in the woods and stumbled upon a small off-grid cabin. Veronica was living there like a hermit. She looked older, but she was happy to see the familiar face. We were drinking tea on a porch. Her cabin was cozy, but I noticed one odd detail. She had no indoor plumbing, no pipes anywhere. Water came from a well in baskets, and the restroom was an outhouse. Must be tough without amenities, I asked. Your old apartment had central heating, a sewer system. Veronica's face changed. Her smile vanished. She put her mug down and her hands started to tremble. Amenities, she whispered. No, never again. You have no idea what can live inside those pipes. And then she told me why she ran away. I loved that apartment. 4th floor, bright kitchen, quiet neighbors. I lived there for 4 years in perfect peace. But in the 5th year, it started. I'm not a quiet person. I walk heavily, I watch TV loud, so I didn't notice it right away. It began while I was washing dishes. I turned off the tap to scrub the plate, and I heard it. A whisper. It wasn't coming from the hallway or the neighbors. It was coming from below, straight out of the kitchen sink drain. At first, it was just a gurgle, but then the sounds got sharper. It sounded like a child who had lost their voice. A wet, raspy whisper, amplified by the echo of a metal pipe. I leaned closer to the black hole of the drain. It smelled of dampness and rot, and the voice said, "It's so tight here. It's so dark. I can't get through." My heart dropped to my stomach. I thought maybe a child got stuck in the ventilation shaft, but the voice was too close, right under the metal grate. I called a plumber the next day. A big guy came over, shined a flashlight down there, ran a long metal snake into the pipe. "Got a clock, lady?" he asked. "There is someone in there," I said. He looked at me like I was crazy, but when he started pulling the snake back up, he frowned. The cable was covered in thick black slime that smelled like old blood, and the tip of the snake had scratches on it, deep gouges in the metal. "You got rats, probably. Mutants or something," he joked nervously, took a cash, and left very quickly. He clearly didn't want to stay there. After the plumber left, I decided to handle it myself. I bought the strongest drain cleaner I could find, industrial strength acid that dissolves hair and grease. I put on gloves and poured the entire bottle down the black throat of the sink. I expected fizzing or a sound of a clog breaking up. Instead, I heard coughing, a dry, hacking cough coming from the deep, and then thick yellow smoke billowed out of the drain. It didn't smell like chemicals, it smelled like burning skin. The sink started to vibrate, and that same voice, now filled with pain, hissed, "It burns. Why are you hurting me?" Terrified, I slammed a dinner plate over the drain and ran out of the kitchen. I could swear I heard someone weeping inside the pipes. It was quiet for a week. I almost calmed down, but then that night happened. There was a heat wave, and I left the bedroom door open for a draft. I woke up at 3 a.m. to a sound. It was coming from the kitchen. the sound of a fingernail tapping against the metal sink from the inside. I lay in the bed, paralyzed with terror. And then, that voice again, louder, angrier. "Move over. I need room. Get this out of the way." The sound got louder, as if something massive was trying to squeeze through the narrow band of the pipe. The metal creaked. I didn't go to check. I tiptoed to the bedroom door and slammed it shut. I pushed my dresser against the door. I spent the rest of the night on the balcony, clutching a knife and staring at the door handle, praying it wouldn't turn. I thought I was going crazy. In the morning, I went to the neighbors. I asked about cults, about basement. They told me the basement was dry, just some rats occasionally. No one believed me. A month passed. Humans get used to anything. I decided it was the plumbing, water pressure, my nerves. That Sunday, I decided to cook steaks. I took a large piece of frozen meat and put it in the sink to defrost. I went to the living room to watch a show. An hour later, I came back to the kitchen. The meat was gone. Well, not gone, but it was smaller. The piece was halfway pulled into the drain hole, as if someone from below had grabbed it and was pulling it down. I got angry. I thought the water suction caused it. I grabbed the piece of meat and pulled. It didn't budge. It was stuck tight. I braced my foot against the cabinet and yanked with all my strength. There was a wet, squelching sound. The meat flew out of the pipe. I looked at it and screamed. The bottom part wasn't torn. It was not. There were clear marks of human teeth on it. And then, from the pipe came a deafening, furious shriek. "Give it back, it's mine." The walls shook. I heard the pipes inside the walls start to hum and buckle. Plaster rained down. Something huge, incredibly strong, was tearing its way up, breaking plastic and metal to get to me. It smelled fresh food. I dropped everything. I ran out of the apartment in just my clothes, clutching only my keys and passport. I heard a pipe burst with a crash in the kitchen, and something heavy slapped on the floor. I sold the apartment through the realtor without stepping foot inside again. I let it go dirt cheap. The realtor said there was a sewer burst and the kitchen was wrecked, but the new tenants were happy with a low price. It was a young couple with a baby. Sometimes I think about them. I feel guilty, but I couldn't stay. Now I live here. No pipes, no drains, no darkness hiding under the sink. 5 years have passed, and I still wonder, what was it? And how hungry it is
right now.